Hello everybody, so we are continuing. This is part 4, the final part of my series, all about just trying to survive in vanilla Civ 4 as somebody who has always struggled with vanilla Civ 4 games. And in this case, I had disadvantages, like I was on one continent with one enemy who I decided I would hate and fight, and yet no matter how much I defeated them, they just wouldn't go down. So now I'm in my 5th conflict with the Celts, and I'm deciding where to place my engineer, which is, I love placing engineers. But yeah, basically, you can see, okay, here, this city was called Novo Magnus, and I think that translates, like, Novo I think translates to new, and Magnus translates to great, like Magna Carta or Charlemagne, obviously Charles the Great. So I decided to call that. You'll see here, this is a loss, I think, if I remember correctly. I, make a stand and I do an all right job, but yeah, there's just no chance. So, well, it's funny actually. I renamed the city, and a New Great is a weird name for a city. I'm not gonna lie, but apparently Nova Magnus is a fine name, even though I think it means the exact same thing. I called it Great New. But you'll see here, I end up attacking them on this side, which, to be honest, like, it should be better. Like, it's kind of cutting them off. So obviously, cutting them off from their main kind of core of power. And I think this is a battle I'm quite happy with. Of course, you can see the Grenadiers being incredibly effective. And here, what I'm trying to do is consider whether or not those Grenadier are going to be able to attack me as a response. And I come to the conclusion that no, I should be able to do them a good amount of damage with my riflemen. And I, basically just, being very cautious. Something that I never want to do is kind of rush in with my troops and do anything stupid. So yeah, I'm just making sure that all of my positions are well defended and able to, and I think I end up actually surviving that turn, and now making sure that I just kind of mop things up, which I do quite effectively. So yeah, now my main concern is just that city there, which obviously, and once I take this, I then basically control the entire east coast. And yeah, like I say, I have somewhat effectively cut Celts off, even while I lost one of my cities in the east, which I'd taken from them. I'm cutting them off. There is that island there, which I don't think I at any point worry about, to be honest. But yeah, basically, in theory, this feels like it should be good. I do then get an attempt at a counterattack, and let's see, how do I do? It's fun watching this because I can't even remember. So let's see. This is potentially, I think this is an example of a potential disaster, because, like I say, those are one of the things I said in an earlier episode, is that the Grenadiers are primed for city attack. So if I lose them when defending, that's just a complete loss, because it's basically losing them in a situation where they weren't even of any advantage. I head for here, and you can see me going to take this city. So this will just further isolate their territory in the northwest of this particular part of the continent. You can again see me being a bit cautious about what units I actually commit to this attack. Obviously, I don't want to lose them, and you can see me, of course, here I am, losing units. I don't expect to go into these battles remaining with or maintaining every single unit. But fortunately, I never do so disastrously as to lose units at the same rate at which my opponents do, almost always. Although you can see I sacrifice a maceman there just to be like, well, let's see how, let's... Ultimately, with the maceman at this point, it's kind of a case of use them or lose them, I need to be trying to get them to that triple city attack promotion. And actually, you can see here that the Germans have declared war on Celts, and then just there, you can see that actually Celts ends up getting taken over. And that city of Great New is now conquered. So basically, the Celts have been completely pushed off of this part of the continent. Obviously, funnily enough, only a few, 100 years, maybe even over 1,000 years since I first pushed them off of this continent. I then, of course, found a holy shrine to get that economic benefit. And you can now see me identifying one of the things that I didn't show is that Celts actually ended up becoming a vassal of the Germans. So I considered going to war with them, but I couldn't because they'd become a vassal of the Germans, and I would have had to go to war with the Germans. So instead, I'm working on these barbarian territories so that I can actually, expand a little bit. Ultimately, at this point, I mean, if I have any goal, it's to try and build up these territories I already control, spread my religion to them, which is of course a concern. You can see I'm exploring a lot with my airships to actually fill out more of the map, which I don't really understand, or haven't really explored properly yet. I then lose some cannons. This is, I think, a ridiculous ridiculous loss. I don't think I should have lost those cannons. But yeah, I then consider giving it a new name. Oh, I do give it a new name, sorry. Tamarville, I believe. But yeah, I'm just trying to explore a little bit. And yeah, my plan was to head down to those cities there and take them over. So you can now see me talking with Celtic. So what was that? Was that 5 Anglo-Celtic wars? I don't think I ever got to 6. So, and obviously now they have become a vassal of the Germans, and the Germans are incredibly powerful. So what you can see here is that I've worked out that I can put my airship in the middle of Mayan cities and like explore their territory from there. So I'm looking around. You can see there's that little strip there, which I haven't explored. And spoiler alert, but I am never actually going to explore that strip because at this point, the Mayans attack me, take that city incredibly easily with their tanks against my grenadiers. By the way, I should stress at this point, some of my grenadiers are actually defensive. March across here, take that over, and with it, take some of my cities. And also, of course, as you can see there, take over my my airship. So I'm now at war with the Mayans, and I've got to try and defend myself against this incredibly superior military power. So then you can see they attack me there. I just wasn't, there was no way, I was not expecting, I mean, obviously I win that, but I was just not expecting them to be so quick in terms of just how badly they just launched that really fast attack. So at this point, I'm starting to realize, okay, wait, I need to actually be thinking about defending that city, but no, already they're striking there, and boom, like I'm thinking at this point, how do I defend these cities? And of course, I'm taking one of their troops, and I do actually win there, obviously get surrounded by the paratroops, and that wins me some time, but I really am thinking, what do I do now? And I actually decide to upgrade to a machine gun with that defensive bonus just to try and, actually do some damage. And I end up actually thinking, oh, I can possibly go for a counterattack. I'm considering which place is best to counterattack, because all I'm trying to do at this point is slow them down by counterattacking. And, that's my main goal. So if I, and you can see at this point that having the advantage of the city attack is genuinely useful, but yeah, like I say, my only goal here is just, goodness me, can I please slow them down, give myself some time? But of course, yeah, with these attempts to slow them down, I'm of course sacrificing, I'm trading troops for time, I guess, although of course I'm not being too cavalier about losing troops, but indeed those troops there who are incredibly valuable do get lost. I'm not sure if I could have, I think I could have handled this better, because I think I, maybe could have retreated faster, like made sure I retained more of my troops. Because here, I mean, there was no chance. And again, that essentially, I mean, I effectively got encircled there. Like I should have moved those troops out of there sooner, realized that I was going to get cut off, but I didn't. You can see me here surrounded, and of course I lose that territory. And yeah, then I'm just, at this point, I just go for a counterattack. And this is pretty much an all-out counterattack just to try. I'm like, okay, this is, I guess this was a last stand, Obviously, I do not have a technological advantage, but I'm thinking, well, I guess I probably have numbers. It's, and you can just see me just cycling through. And, at this point, I'm actually starting to get some victories, but going through so many troops just to be like, to slow them down, to injure them, to, make them less effective in battle. But at this point, yeah, the chance, I mean, let's be clear, I am not at this point thinking I'm going to be able to take these cities back. I recognize, and essentially, the Mayans have completely reduced all of my victories to nothing. You can see I got a general there just from taking this last stand. Here they've already launched some troops, and I'm obviously defending myself. But it's a bit scary because obviously not only has basically all of the territory that I won from the Celts been taken away, but also even some of the territory that I've had for a while, like Nottingham, that was one of my original cities, has gone. I'm now building up my defenses, considering, can I attack? And I think the decision I come to is no, I can't. That has, that ultimate last strike really wasn't successful, because what I really wanted to do was actually defeat the army. And by leaving some of them alive, well, that army's just going to end up healing itself and just coming back to do damage. And at this point, I'm trying to work out, well, what kind of peace deal can I make? They want London. I don't want to give them London. I'm trying to work out something else I can give them. So I wanted to give them that island there, but I can't. So in the end, I'm trying to give them literally all the money I have, the world map. I eventually end up giving them Bordeaux, and I'm seeing how much money I can give them. And yes, they accept Bordeaux plus all the money I have. And with that, I have lost, and you can see me now looking back through it to kind of work out where it is, like how quickly they destroyed me. And the answer is staggeringly quickly. I then get this help of artillery, but at this point, I've been pushed right back. I've lost. You can now see nukes are being used, so I guess I managed to avoid that. Nukes against my old enemy of Justinian. The funny thing is, obviously, I mentioned I was considering at one point invading Greece. Spoiler alert, that never happened. But I think Greece ended up actually getting nuked and just like wiped off the map quite quickly. At this point, all I'm doing now is just, my army's gone. Both the people to either side of me or above me are way more powerful. You can see global warming just struck there. But yeah, both people are way too powerful. So I'm just like, well, there's nothing I can do except wait for the game to end. And of course, as you see, Pakal, the guy who just destroyed me, has won a space race victory. So I did not win. And you will now see the game play out. You can put it into slow mode if you want to watch it play out in full. But yeah, you're basically just going to see the game continue. You can obviously see what's happening with the other people. You can see what's happening with me. And, you can obviously see Pakal there in the kind of a teal color expanding. I was actually looking and thinking about like other civilizations that had good starts. I think Russia had a very good start. You can see them kind of in that little peninsula there. Like, I think peninsulas are the best places because it kind of means that you're not surrounded. In this case, I had a good start in terms of not being surrounded. I was quite happy with that. I didn't have a good start in that I didn't have many territory or civilizations around me to trade with, so I had that serious technological issue. You will obviously see, this is kind of, I guess this was the sort of default position of the game for the stays for a long time, but you'll see me then take over Celtia, and there we go. This is kind of, this is me hitting my most powerful point. Yeah, this is the highest point I'm at in the game, and in not very long at all, you see it just completely disintegrate, like incredibly quickly. It was shocking how fast it happened, just a blink of an eye. And here I am going through kind of the final like tallies, the score. You can see how that's changed for different people. You can also see, the different civilizations that were involved. And of course, it wasn't 18 civilizations, which I think I would have done better if it were. Looking at the goods. And I'm just going to look through all of this stuff, production. Looking at myself in contrast to everyone else. Crop yield again. I just assume some people might find this stuff interesting, so I'm just going to kind of talk over it because I don't want to sit here in weird silence. But obviously, there's not really much I can add. Like, if this is interesting, you pause it and look at it as much as you like. Power, so you can see the relative power of the different armies. Again, I was never that fantastic. Culture, not great. Espionage, not great. Next, I look at the demographics. Obviously, this would have been much higher before I was just completely destroyed. Overall, I end in not a great situation. I think the smallest civilization. Pretty much doing the worst in lots of ways. Lots of pretty significant ways. I really did not end the game in a great situation at all. you can see me, looking at the top cities. Obviously, I don't make an appearance there. Statistics, well, you will see my final KD ratio. Obviously, again, like a lot of my deaths happened right at the end there. Oh, you can see what I've built the most of. Obviously, I think that's forges I built a lot of, I guess. Again, it's quite difficult for me to see. You can see I killed lots of, like that's a lot of people I killed. And then obviously my deaths, again, lots of these would have come, and obviously cannons is a lot because, of course, cannons are often the first in to kind of, make some damage. But yeah, basically, even with that massive final defeat, which of course I think half my deaths came from that, but you can see at the end of it all, I still got the overall score of Dan Quayle. So there we go. Not a victory by any means, but my modest goal of simply surviving was actually achieved. So obviously, that was just that. There are other games I've played, games that have gone far better. So I hope you maybe watch those. And you can subscribe to see more if you enjoy this. I enjoy playing it, and I actually, to be honest, enjoy watching it back. So maybe you enjoy it too. I'll just say thank you for watching, and I hope to see you for the next game.